Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So we'll get started here in just a momento. Just getting myself set up. And, yeah, I do hope you're doing well. Has been a couple days, but here we are once again. Looking forward to seeing what the outcome of the turn will be. Hey, didn't that comment there? Good to have you, my man. Do hope you're doing well. What's the weather like in Belgium? We had a little bit of snow yesterday. It's been wet and cold since then, really. I think in the south they had quite a bit of snow, actually, at some place. No, sorry, I think it was in the north they had quite a bit of snow. Scotland and tends to get quite nasty. Yeah, cold, rainy, and misty. Yeah, that sounds about right. How you doing there, Ove Cato Borsheim? Good to have you, my man. Okay. Let's turn this up ever so slightly. There we are. Wookiees do the safety dance. What? What? I swear to God, sometimes I like read the name of these terms. I'm like, what the? Oh, that is like half entertainment sometimes, is the name of the goddamn turn. Oh my days. Now, we do have what will be a bombardment of Wake once again. There's not a huge amount planned this turn. We are going to be attacking in Burma, the British tank battalion, so I'm hoping that is actually going to go well. That would be nice. Ideally, they either surrender or they remain in place. We're going to attack them again. That would be pretty ideal. Okay. How you doing there, ordained bump? Good to have you, my man. Okay. Right, there we are. So we have our landing forces merging there. Good. We do have the AKEs moving north. Ah, damn. Ah, that's a shame. So Kagiro there does take a torpedo. So I don't think Kagiro will make it out there. That's a shame, actually. But I mean, this is what can happen. It's a shame about a destroyer because, well, they're good ships. They're very good ships. But I don't think there's much that can be done for that one there, then is there? How you doing, Vulcan? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, shame there, but she's like going to go down there. Yeah, Kagiro goes down there to torpedo. That's a shame. That is a shame. But there's larger, more valuable ships that could have been hit. So eventually something was going to happen, but... I'd rather it had been something else, if anything at all, really. How you doing there, Sicarian? Good to have you, my man. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't think her speed was that bad, actually. I think it might have been 9 knots, maybe? Not too sure on that one. But that was a lucky hit for him there, really. Right, so we do have the light cruisers over here. I was going to use the heavy cruisers, but I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to have the heavy cruisers head out towards truck. They can refuel at truck, and then what I'm going to do is have them distributed. We'll probably have 1 or 2 head down towards Raphael, I think. The reason for that is we really do lack like actual surface assets there. So I think by having heavy cruisers with some destroyers on hand to defend something like Raphael would be really quite useful. Or even potentially Talagi, but it depends really. Okay. Do let me know if the audio is a bit too quiet actually. I could turn it up a little bit. That's a wild one. Anyway, we'll speed this up here then. I mean, for light cruisers, it's still a number of cruisers there. It's not essentially, it's not especially heavy bombardment, but it's still bombardment nonetheless. It is damage still nonetheless. So we can keep on going with that. They did have spotters there. It doesn't look like they hit, but I know they hit the troops there. It just doesn't seem to be reporting there, but that could quite easily be fog of war. I think I told them to remain on station, so they might have a day bombardment as well. We'll see there. Thank you very much there, Vulcan. Much appreciated, my man. Landing over there. We do have a couple more. We do have a couple that are having to load up the troops again. But they will then more than likely be in a position to land the troops on another dot base in a day or two. Okay. Of course. So Hyuga there takes a torpedo from the S-44 and a second torpedo there. That's not good. I guess we'll see how she turns out. I mean, BBs of all things can take torpedoes, so not a good day for torpedoes. Now, she's not saying heavy damage, so we'll see how she turns out there. And this is the difficulty of operating around so many goddamn submarines. Right, S-35 there. Not a good day. Good day for his torpedoes, though. Good day for his subs. That's the difficulty of this. I do dearly wish that we had been able to take Wake at the start, because we would have not had to deal with this. But then again, he knew what he was doing with Wake. I would not be surprised if that was something he'd done to others beforehand, really, and gained that experience. It's nasty because we're having to deal with, like, so many submarines, and all he has to do is just simply keep them in the area. Pain in the arse. But oh well. We're going to have her sent back to shipyards to be repaired should she make it out there. The good news is no heavy damage, no fires. It's just obviously going to be flotation for the most part. System damage too. Okay. Right, we are bombing over here in the north. We are going to be attacking here again today as well, actually. I'd like to see if these fellows actually do head to the hexes where they're supposed to be going. It just seems to be taking a tremendous amount of time. I wouldn't be too surprised if he's going in combat mode, but sometimes we see results, it does make you think that it's not actually combat mode, and it might be potentially movement mode. It just seems to be taking a long time, but then again, I don't think there's roads out here, so I would explain why it would be taking a while. I'm hitting the airfield over there at Sinning, just to make sure he can't build fortifications back up after we take them down again. Bomb him again over here. Again, I want to see these guys. I want to see when they eventually arrive, because it's been a long time, surely. I still find it hard to believe that that force would go there. I don't know. Maybe it's 1 or 2 units. I just find it weird that he would send them there. I can see a reason as to why. Is that they would last quite a long time and they'll be annoying to deal with. Oh wow, that was really quite effective there. In terms of actual to say, but that was actually really quite good. 580s, not bad at all. That's not bad at all. That's a pretty good result. I think that's one of the best results we had there in terms of causing casualties. I mean, obviously destroying units would be better, but still not bad. Right, so I get to finally see what we have over here. I need to gauge his strength. Of course, I don't have... 63rd Chinese Corps then. Okay, so I'd have to see how powerful that could be at this point. So I do have 2 Naval Guard units there. The issue with the Naval Guard is they have 60 AV, which is actually really good for a number of bases, garrison-wise. So... I'd rather have another unit actually go ahead and attack them. But they are useful for actually keeping that unit locked down for the time being. Okay, so do we have the runway hits over here at Moresby? Been keeping that nicely suppressed for some time now. We do have troops that have been dispatched from Nagasaki to reinforce the actual Solomon Sea area. This area in general, so we can actually go ahead and get them moving over to Port Moresby. Okay, that's not bad at all. I've been doing that for a while, actually. I mean, over here in China, we've been doing them for a while. I will do them against targets that I know don't have the AA capabilities. Obviously, I didn't know what the Chinese had in terms of AA capabilities some time ago. But obviously, it was your suggestion there, Vulcan, that led us to go down this path. I mean, ignore that, it says 7k, it's actually 3k. Look at Deadman, isn't using good planes in PM. It's not really luck, it's just he hasn't got them there. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really had much opposition out that way for some time. Yeah, and that's obviously a good point there, is regarding the heavy bombers. We haven't seen them employed. Oh, thank you very much for Spartan of Rome. Wow, 6 months, man. Much appreciated. Take my Amazon buddies. That is appreciated, my man. It is appreciated. He is building up Khans over here. And I would love to go and bombard that. It's going to be one of the first bases we bombard when we get back into that area in a good way. Another 6 free casualties there. Is he changing movement mode? It just seems strange because we've had quite a lot of casualties there today. We are going to be attacking here. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes about. We're also moving the air division from Rangoon up to, I forget the name of this base. Oh no, we're moving it to Magway. Moving the actual air division to Magway. We're moving a couple aviation battalions to different bases in this area. I'm also moving a construction unit. I'm going to try and build up these bases over here and make this into a formidable cluster of airfields, essentially. Yeah, no, it's hard to answer. I can't really say much for why he's doing certain things and why he's not doing other things. It is hard to really fathom sometimes. I mean, we don't really have much in an air war in Burma because we frankly don't need one. He could be employing heavy bombers there in Burma, but he's not. And it's hard to say as to why he isn't. Speaking of which, I'm moving AA into Burma. Shouldn't be too far away now. It was loading up last turn alongside another tank regiment, so it shouldn't be too far away from being finished by now, actually. How you doing there, Blast Pop? Are you running this in Windows 10? Yeah, I'm running it in Windows 10. What do you need to do that? There is a utility called... I mean, it doesn't necessarily... It's not really required to run it in Windows 10. I've not had issues with that before. But if you download a utility called CB, so just type into Google, like, Warinthepacific Admirals Edition, CB's utility, and then you can download that, and that makes it really quite nice and really pleasant to be able to run the game. I think it's an issue with, I think it's like direct draw or something of that nature. I think it's something that causes issues with the actual game. And you can switch that off with the CB's utility. It just makes it easy. How you doing there, Helen Strat? Helson. I always say Helen. I don't mean to say Helen now, but it's become a thing. No naval engagements as of yet. We did have Kagiro DD sunk by a USN submarine, unfortunately. The BB Hyuga did take 2 torpedoes from a submarine as well. It didn't say any major damage, so we've not seen the fallout of that as of yet. Hopefully it's not too bad. Right, so we do finally open up with a bombardment. Yes, Kagiro hit a mine, which is kind of annoying. I mean, you look at the effectiveness of his mines versus the effectiveness of our mines, and it's just like night and day. Oh wow, okay, so we do actually hit some Catalinas on the ground here. It looks like only Yamashiro took part in the bombardment, so lucky him there. I mean, that was actually a pretty effective bombardment in the daytime, so you can definitely see the difference there. It looks like Hyuga might have actually split off already, which is not too surprising. But we apparently destroyed a Catalina on the ground and damaged a few more, which is good. Hopefully they make it out there. A couple hundred, about 200-ish casualties is nice. Would have been good to have had the double bombardment there. But we'll see. We are landing here now. And then I can get that supply back to Manila. Okay. Yeah, it would have been nice to have had Hyuga bombard as well. So we do have our Antilope attack here then. So yeah, this is what I've been expecting for some time. So you can see that we do have a 27th Indian Mounted Gun Regiment, 46th Indian Brigade, 45th Indian Brigade, 13th Infantry Brigade, 2nd Burma Brigade, 2nd King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry Battalion, I think it is. They're all essentially smashed. It's just the 7th Armoured Brigade here that has any AV. Now, we do have 2 tank regiments in this. We would have had a 3rd, but I wanted to control the hex to the south there just to make sure we had it. We do have 2 divisions in there. We also do have... I mean, the RF gun battalions are annoying. Like, I kind of wish they operated a bit like artillery, where at least they had some AV and could be employed in direct attacks. They're obviously a defensive tool in this game, which is kind of annoying. We also do have a 3rd RTA/A. We also have elements of the 21st Independent Mixed Brigade here. So at least that gives us that. We do have a 15th Army there. Again, if they surrender, that'd be great. If they remain in place, that'd be almost as good. Obviously, surrendering would be fantastic. But it looks like they're going to remain in place, which is good. Okay, that's what I wanted to see there. Beyond, well, if we couldn't get the surrender, then remain in place is good. So obviously they do have minus supply. They have operations mode here as well. That's going to cost him. Depends on which units, but that's not good. Minus morale, minus experience, minus supply. They do have a terrain though. We have 707 casualties here, 4 destroyed, very light losses, and in fact, 4 tanks knocked out there. Only these vehicles, 1 would imagine tanks. 53 disabled, 9 disabled, 4 disabled. We inflict 853 casualties, so 24 squads destroyed, 32 disabled, 1 non-combatant destroyed, 28 disabled, 4 engineers destroyed, 8 disabled, 33 guns are lost, so 6 destroyed, 27 disabled, and 36 vehicles are disabled, 1 destroyed, 35 disabled I should say. So, him possibly being in the wrong operations mode with the tanks there is obviously not doing them any favours, but them having no supply, yeah. Oh, here we go. We do have the final fall of Urumqi over here, which is essentially going to be, yeah, the conquest of the entire north there. Yeah, look at that. Urumqi has fallen, and with that we gain, and they surrender just outright. It's fantastic. So that's brilliant. That means we can go ahead and we'll take Wasu, because that's not too far away. I'll send the smallest tank regiment to go take that. Kashgar, the other base out here, will have sent a unit to take that. Excellent, excellent news there. Yeah, so 1,684 men there, being attacked by how many tanks? Been attacked there by 220 tanks. There's not anything they can do there. Oh, I don't intend to kick them out, I just want them to surrender. And they're gonna be destroyed. I mean, obviously they had, 36 vehicles there taken out. The disabled ones obviously become destroyed soon enough. But yeah, they're gonna get to a point where they just can't hold on. And that's going to come pretty soon. So, we do have Ichang over here, sorry. Not seeing anything new as such on the map here. Is it less units here? I'm not too sure. I don't think it's less, but I don't take notes of the names. There's a lot of names. What's that for? I'm downloading Warinthepacific for some reason when again like. Oh, are you downloading from Matrix? I mean, they're really slow at times for me as well. Do you have upload speed to multi-stream both Twitch and YouTube? Probably. Oh, I found out what the issue was the other day, by the way, when we had that issue with the stream. I think what it was is essentially the, because I have what you call a Wi-Fi, is it Wi-Fi adapter? I forget what they call them. You know, the ones that you plug into the wall and then you have like an Ethernet cable run into the machine. I think what had happened is that had failed, and then it switched over to Wi-Fi, which obviously wasn't as good, so it was kind of like switching between them, which I think led to that instability. It's not the modem itself, it's like a power link adapter, that's what they call them, power link adapter. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. That's good to know. I didn't know you could do that, actually. Hey, didn't have mine. Good to have you, my friend. Good to see you. So, speed this up, then. So, 31 casualties there. Again, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I find it weird to think that he'd even move in here, but we'll see. So, we do have this force over here being attacked by the 51st Division in a shock attack. Obviously, they're going to get their asses kicked. It'd be great if they were to surrender, but they're likely... Well, this is actually blocked, so we'll see where they do retreat. Towards Wuchao. She's over this way. So they're going to go over to this hex? They do. Okay, that's cool. That means that we can actually push on up this way, so we should do so. No real reason why we can't. There is a core here, but it's going to take some time to even get out of there. So 43 casualties on our end. 759 there, so obviously that's taking the wind out of their sails already. Bombardment attack continuing over here. Now... trying to see if they've moved yet. Can't quite tell with that there, but I'm not seeing any units here or here. So I'm guessing not. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realise that about Twitch. Fair enough. So we have a bombardment. Now, I think what I'm going to do is allow reinforcements to head this way, continue with the bombardments, obviously just using the artillery. And then we're going to make some progress down here in the south and begin to push things up over this way. It's not that long before we do have the airfield built up at Xi'an, or we have the airfield that can be built up over here at Ichang, but he eventually leaves this area if he does in fact leave. I would like to have bombers, and this is it, it's like I did consider, we could probably win the battle over here at Kianko and push him out of Kianko, but I'm like, well, do I have the ability to then push on and take Chongqing or Chengdu? Chengdu I could probably do, but then it's like it's going to leave me in a particularly awkward situation where I don't know what his strength is over here at Chongqing. And that is a times 2 as well, don't know the fortifications. I'd rather have additional men, and I'd rather make some progress down here as well. Also, it'd be great to have bombers able to actually help us out. The bombers are doing a lot of damage to him as well. So for the time being, we get to... not a huge amount of damage per turn, but it's still damage per turn. Also get the bombers, can increase that, and then we can push on soon enough. I probably will attack soon enough to reduce the fortifications before the reinforcements do arrive though, so that's just a caveat to remember. How you doing there, Grim? Not too bad. We had a BB take 2 torpedoes on our side, but no heavy damage as such. Obviously we haven't seen the damage yet, so we'll see how bad. The Erkkijuusto unfortunately got torpedoed. She was damaged by a mine, because his mines work, and ours do not. But oh well. And then she got torpedoed by a sub. Okay. So we do have our attack over here at Sinning. Now, yep, we do take them down to 0 fortifications. So 365 out to 868, obviously that wasn't going to happen. Which is something that we knew. But we are bombing the actual base over here then to prevent him from building those back up. So, fairly light casualties. Disabled obviously reduces our AV, but it's not so bad. Obviously not great in comparison to his losses, but then this is something that we're going to have to deal with. Okay. We do have our bombardment attack over here on Surabaya. Now, we do have 16th Reconnaissance Regiment there. I'd wager the other tank regiment, well the actual tank regiment here on Java, will probably arrive tomorrow, so we could go ahead and probably attack tomorrow then at Surabaya. How you doing there, Jack Tank? This game, you can play it single player versus in AI, but I'm playing here against a human opponent. It is a play-by-email game, so what we're doing is, like, I obviously make my turn, he does his turn, and then we resolve it, and then so on and so forth. But this is against a human opponent. Likely so, but I mean, we'll see. If we can get her back to Japan, I'd be happy. Issei isn't actually far from being finished at Hong Kong. Obviously, we'll have Yamato soon enough as well. I think she's 64 days at this point. 18 casualties over here then. So we can attack them tomorrow, which would be quite nice. We do have a shock attack against the Mandalay BMP Battalion here, and the 103rd RAF Base Force with the 7th Tank Regiment. Now, that took them longer to get here because they had to go around. Oh, cool. Do they both surrender? They do both surrender. That's really good news there. Cool. But that makes it easier then, so we can actually go on then to proceed to this base, and I'll take that base and take that base. But I think a infantry unit could take that base, really. But we'll see. Yeah, so they're destroyed there. Only 161 men there in total. Obviously, they had 0 chance against the tank regiment. Yeah, 90. Sorry, 51 tanks actually attacking. Not much chance there. Okay, so, Ricardo Bay expands to size 1 airfield. Good news. I'd like to get that built up as soon as possible to size 2. That'd be excellent. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Maybe one day we'll have AI, well, an AI that can actually play akin to a human. Or like a human, I should say. But we're not there yet. Okay, so, good turn. Obviously not good in regards of the BB taking torpedoes, but we'll see where we are with that one. Could have been worse. I don't feel too worried about it. Obviously, we have to get her out there, so we'll see. Would have been nice to have had that double bombardment though, because that was actually pretty effective, and it would have been nice to knock out a few more of those Catalinas there. But still, destroying one on the ground, damaging a few others is nice. We don't know how much we've damaged them, so hopefully enough to make it worthwhile. Obviously, when we do have another bombardment coming in, we might yet hit them. And we should have the other BBs, the 3 fast BBs, being, well, able to be rearmed at Bikini today. And then we can have the AKEs move on to Toongi, ideally tomorrow. I think Nagato and Mutsu might be able to be rearmed today as well. Depends if they've actually reached Bikini. But we'll see there. So, 4203 and 25. We do have our landing forces obviously closing on Wake as well. They should be nearing. And they'll be landing shortly enough. Well, he would likely dig in at Imphal and Kohima. Well, I mean, this is it. It's like, with Dadman in this game, he's lost a lot of forces in Burma. Obviously, you saw the attack that we had earlier on as well against the tank regiment and the couple of brigades out there. He doesn't have that much left in Burma. I don't think there's much he can do, in all honesty. I mean, we'll see. I probably will advance to some extent. We're going to have to obviously plan the Indian operations. We do have reconnaissance that's obviously been moved up so we can keep an eye on Calcutta, but also then take a look at other bases in that area of India. Well, Burma. So let's see then. So, okay. Well, they're both over here then. So she's got 39. Okay. She can still make about 7 knots at cruise then. Issue is that is a big target. They're still on station. Well, they're still here. Oh, they didn't take any hits or mines. At least there's something there. Yeah, would have been nice had she not taken those torpedoes, but not much can do. So, right. Let's have a look. Kitabatai is undetected, and the entirety of the Kitabatai task force, well, the entirety of the Kitabatai forces in this area are undetected as well. APD. Interesting. So maybe he's actually withdrawing those BBs that we saw here. We're not seeing too much right now. Detection there. That does make me think that those are the BBs over there as well, so they had a heavy amount of float planes with them. Not seeing detection elsewhere. Right, okay. Well, the last time we saw a task force up in this area was heading this way. He might be heading something around here. Maybe he might be heading elsewhere completely. He may well be going out and this way around to potentially head elsewhere. We do have a H6Ks around. That do gives a lot of visibility, so it's quite an interesting question, really. Now, he still has these forces over here. I feel like he's obviously waiting for something. I guess we'll see what it could be. Ah, good. These forces have landed over here, so I can go ahead and take that base and then move them on. I want to take that dot base there, just because that's the one behind my lines, but I am going to take this one too as well. Just try and take every dot base in the area. That one got forgotten about. Okay. Right. So they're unloading there. That's probably going to take them a day to unload, give or take. I was hoping they might have been able to finish it today, but obviously they've only just arrived. But then what I can do is have the 2nd Division broken up into 3, well, enlarged regiments, I suppose you could call them. And then we have another 3 waves there. We do obviously have our landing forces moving out. That'll be the initial wave there with the infantry and tanks. I don't know why they're ahead of them, actually. Kind of odd that they are. Maybe because they had to wait for these guys to catch up, whereas I can have them head together. And, oh, of course he has signal intelligence over here. So he's going to be likely aware of this. Okay. The good news is he's unaware of Kitabatai, our worst our advantage. We have begun to filter back some additional zeros out here. We decided to go ahead and send about 14 zeros out this way to Buin. Sorry, is it Buin? Shortlands, actually. Shortlands. Send 14 back over here, just to give us an escort. Again, he's not... I don't know why he's doing this. We do have these subs here, but he's not aware of these guys, which is good for us. It is giving us time to build up this area too. I mean, we have built Rakata into an actual base now. So we are building towards the actual airfield, size 2. I do need to get some supply heading down here, which you can definitely do. So I can organise that from Raphael. Okay. Is the audio loud enough? I'm going to turn the audio up a little bit more, actually. Just give me a moment. Oops, not that. Hey, that Windows sound. Okay. Right, yeah. Now, he does have detection. Of course, he still does have aircraft over here. Right, there's the 8th Tank Regiment. So we can have them... yeah, put into combat mode. 16th Reconnaissance just arrived here today. So I can go ahead and order an attack there. How you doing there, Gum? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, I do like that image. It really is cool. It really is quite cool, actually. So I will go ahead and order a deliberate attack here. There we are. Because we have the army. An aviation koi. is here as well, so that can actually give us that aviation support available immediately then. Just so I can have some fighters shifted there, just to prevent any damage to the oil refineries, etc. afterwards. I don't think it has that capability, but we never know. Right, so these guys are loading troops up. So on the light cruiser Tama, of course it's all FN support. Sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. They never load up the thing you actually need them to load up. Like, if they'd loaded up even one, like, squad, that would have been enough, and I could have taken Christmas Island IO. But I guess we'll have to wait until tomorrow. I'm going to have these taken as well. I am sending a unit out to take that. It's heading up this way somewhere. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's loading up some of the 15th Naval Guard, and that can go ahead and take these bases, and ideally quickly enough. Okay. 112th Regiment is back at Padang. I can send some troops out there to have that loaded up. I'll deal with these units over here on the northern coast then as well, which should be done fairly quickly. There is obviously this unit over here, which could be a bit of a pain, but I probably have to just get some bombers just to try and destroy that. I don't think it's a very large unit, and I really don't want to get involved in swamps because it takes a long time to get in and it takes a long time to get out. Oh, he's actually trying to move himself out this way, but the issue is we actually do have these forces here now too, so we actually do have a third RTA. I think he's only just begun to move here. There's not much you can do about that. I do have a RTA division marching across over here as well. Right, first RTA/C has just arrived, so they can go into combat mode here. I will have the other RF gun battalion go into combat mode, and we have some RTA there. So they're moving across. They're 14 miles into that journey. Obviously, it's going to take them a couple more turns, but that does mean that we will have this then. He may be forced to retreat to this hex here, but hopefully if I take control of this hex, we can try to prevent him from retreating. It's going to be easier said than done because we have seen that he can retreat to some ridiculous places. It's a really annoying mechanic in a lot of ways. But oh well. Okay, so we have that there. Nothing of value. So we'll move on towards the base over here. And this is secondary road. Yeah, we had that trail over there. That slowed us down a lot. We do have the forces over here that just arrived. And let's see. I could have them take that. Well, I might wait for them to take that base first, and then they may surrender. But there is this base over here as well, so it's unlikely that they will. There is that secondary road there. I guess I can attack with them. Give it a shock attack. I do not think that was a strong unit. It's only the one unit. It may even surrender. We do actually have the 5th Division Imperial Guard Division here. The artillery is falling up behind. So that's good news. I do have to make a decision actually what I want to do with this artillery, because the issue is it is fantastic to have, but do I want it to be here? I mean, probably so. I mean, there is going to be some defenses here. It is all mountain, but I think 2 divisions would probably still be enough to grind through that. But I guess we'd have to see, really. So 2 units are here, 1 unit here. Okay, I'm not seeing a unit moving to the south now. At least not seeing it reported, whereas we did before we saw something heading this way. Maybe he's cancelled that? Who knows? So he has a unit over here, so it's a good choice to actually send the RGC up this way. Yeah. Trying to... Well, I'm moving a brigade down this way. Well, not a full brigade, but a detachment of division, sorry. So you can actually move up to this area to give some more AV. We do have the units moving up this way too. We do have the base force over here that's just arrived. I need to get this unit out here, just so I can actually use that AV elsewhere, to be honest. But there we go, so we have the additional engineers now, so at least we are up to 43 engineers. We do have more engineers moving, but eventually we will get that size 2 airfield that we need. Moving another AA unit up there, just because why not? Might come and use them at some point to protect that oil. Right, we have these fellas moving up too. So another 12 engineers there. And yeah, so another 24 engineers there. And importantly, another 18 AV. If I could get a unit up here to actually act as a garrison, that'd be great. I might go ahead and potentially transfer the paratroopers to actually act as a garrison, to be honest, because that could be quite useful. But I would like to actually go ahead and use paratroopers to seize control of the base of Patong, because that could be quite good, because we could actually then transfer troops over via aircraft here, and then maybe even move across to this, or even move across to block one of these roads out here. Just in general causing problems. Right, so we do have this artillery here. That's good. I'm going to have that moved out. I'm building a force so we can actually advance on Wuchao. Having artillery here is good too, so I can actually have them open fire. And there's not much he can do about that. We'll assess this AV when they do arrive then. Okay. Yeah, there we are. Regiments are here as well. I mean, they're working on the fortifications at this moment in time. Probably want to just hold off on those. I don't think I'm going to gain much from that. I need to really think where they want to be employed. I mean, maybe I have a move towards the north. Maybe we could ultimately use them at Chongqing, but I don't know if it's even particularly worthwhile then, actually. Oh, yes, that's true there, Gum. The game is on sale, so do go ahead and take advantage of the really quite awesome Matrix and delivering game sales. Really worthwhile. Okay, so we have 40th Division there, which will arrive likely at Hankow in about a day. Just over a day, if that. But I'd say about a day. Yeah, so we're aware that Wenkao is empty as far as it looks. I mean, this is it. Yeah, well, as far as it goes. Shame that we bombarded before we actually were able to ascertain that, but hey. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be occupied. I do have a naval guard unit that's been moved there. I do not know if there's any mines. I don't think there's any mines, but I'm going to land units over here, as there's no risk to doing so. I don't think there's mines, but we don't know if he's had any submarines potentially laying mines in here. It is a an odd one, so I just want to take it a bit more cautious. It doesn't cost us anything. Right, so they didn't bombard in the day, so maybe they just use all their ammunition. I think what I need to do is obviously get the daytime bombardment set up. Tell them to retire. And they can rearm there. Okay. Yeah, so I decided to take these cruisers out here and then actually have them moved out this way. I think the sooner we get additional forces down there, the better. And it would be quite nice to have additional cruisers, maybe even for bombardments or other purposes, really. How you doing there, Sand Pebble? Good to have you. That's a great name, by the way. Okay, so we do have the AKEs over here, and we do have our BBs. Excellent news. So we do have Kongo, Hie, Kirishima, very armed, Nagato, and Musu rearmed. Awesome. So that is 5 BBs rearmed there, which we can actually have head back to wait to go ahead and bombard it then. We are going to try to bombard it when we land, and we're not that far away from London there really, so we might be able to get one more bombardment in, or just get the bombardment in as we land. Ideally as many bombardments as we can manage really. It's somewhat more encouraging to see that these ships are out this way, that's 16 hectares away from Wake. We did see ships nearby. He might have decided to actually withdraw them once they were detected and being harassed by submarines, but I don't think that's in his character. I do kind of feel like he's either going to have carriers somewhat nearby here to support a force that would come in here to bombard or to engage the landing forces. Another bet might be that he's taking carriers to head elsewhere. Maybe he's going to bring them down here. It's an interesting one. How you doing there, Stein? Good to have you, my friend. And we're going to take this day by day. I mean, I might consider potentially drawing away a few more zeros back to the Rabaul area. We'll see about that. We do debate these things pretty much daily just to try and figure out what is the best decision to make. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing Soribaya ideally fall tomorrow. It's looking pretty likely. We do have a good... maybe about, what was it? I think it's almost like 4 times their strength. Not too far. Obviously having HQ sports great, having that preparation is really good. Having tanks would be good. Aye aye. And I can go ahead and take over bases quickly then. And we can get this moved out. I'll likely have those troops moved to Mindanao. Have the DDs just really land at each of these bases. Obviously trying to get as... well, obviously Davao needs a garrison, but it's only 20, so it's not too bad. What I'd like to do is actually gain... well, take a Naval Guard unit and have it split up. Because then I can actually have 20 there, 20 there, 20 there, something like that. Right, so we do have these troops over here, but I've been landed. So they've landed all their troops, it's just a supply that needs to be moved then. What I'm going to do then is actually have supplies sent back to Manila. We'll probably have some of that supply sent elsewhere too. Grab a DD to escort. Actually, yeah, grab a DD to escort. Yeah, sure. I'll show you that in a moment there, Sand. Welcome, by the way. I think that's a name I do not recognize. Sorry. So it's good to have you. I think Gum too. And somebody else, Jack Tank. I think that's a new name too. So welcome. Right, so they can head back. Yep. So what I can do then is have them actually told to take this base. So set to deliberate. Obviously, I don't need to bombard it, but have it. I don't think I need to have the artillery bombardment actually. So what I can do. So that's probably a waste of ammunition, if anything. Well, waste of supply. Just deliberate. That's good. I could do a bombard in that there. I might go ahead and actually switch up and bombard this base or this base here. Kagayan's not really going to go anywhere. We've obviously... I don't say much in the way of damage, but I don't have any like detection on Kagayan, so that's probably why we're not having things show up like that. It looks like we did sink the ships in port. Abercom ships. I think the majority of like warships he did move out, and they've been serving alongside the USN for some time now out of the Pacific. Okay, so I do have these guys here loading up. I was going to load them up in docks, but I thought, you know, I might as well get them all loading up. Because then if I can get them all moving out here, then they're all moving then. I just don't really like drip feed here, I just want to get them all moved out of the area. Or obviously take that fuel with them. Now, we did see mines out here at Port Blair. Sending DMSs to go ahead and demine that. Yeah, well that's it. So let's take a look at the state of these fellows. Well, it would explain why they were in the incorrect movement mode. Sorry, in the incorrect operations mode. Now, the question is, do I shock attack against them? A shock attack would obviously boost our... Well, it gives us the plus of the shock. I think it's only just begun to move, so I could probably go for another deliberate attack and that'd be fine. I could potentially rest today and then attack again tomorrow. I might make it a shock attack. I'm going to have to think about that. Tanks are tough to obviously deal with. I don't know if it'd be worthwhile going for a shock attack, whether it'd make that much of a difference. Apparently they're not moving, but I doubt that. Right, these guys are right back. That's good. They can rest there. Rest of these troops are moving back too. Yeah, they'll arrive there shortly. And then we can have them moved out elsewhere. These troops are marching to the Hex directly. Okie dokie. They're moving across. AA unit there to be moved out too. But I do have these guys, so that's kind of another tank regiment there, which would be quite useful actually to have another fast-moving unit in Burma, and especially if we do decide to go into India. And I do have these AA units as well moving. I may actually take the AA unit over here at Victoria Point and have that put into Port Blair. The reason being... The 75s are actually pretty good, to be fair. As far as it goes for like Japanese AA, that's not bad. I'd like to punish him if he obviously comes in with like low attacks, essentially. And they're not going to do a huge deal, don't get me wrong, like, but it's certainly better than just having 13.2 MGs or even lesser than that. So it's the 75 T88, isn't it? 75 T88, which apparently has about 25,000 altitude, ceiling, which is actually pretty impressive there. That's pretty good then. That's going to be fairly helpful, actually. Seeing a number of CLs over here. A number of ships over there at Calcutta. Lots of aircraft, of course. So, I do have detection over here. I don't know why it's so poor, only 3 out of 4. Maybe due to the storms there, but it shouldn't be that poor, surely, but oh well. But we do identify that Cox's Bazaar does have a unit in there. He maybe it is a aviation unit, perhaps. Not too sure. But there's a lot of bases out here that I do need to go ahead and run reconnaissance on just to try and get some a decent idea of what's going on here. That's going to be quiet. So we do have our divisions that arrived in Hex over here. They can go ahead and conduct a deliberate attack. And then we'll be moving on to Quailin then afterwards, which is quite good. I do have to deal with this unit over here to Pakoi. We'll deal with that when we deal with that. So things are progressing in China now. And go ahead and take a look at ships sunk and aircraft losses, etc. 2 diners today. 1 to flak, actually. I wonder where that was. Maybe over Wake. Maybe over Calcutta. But ops there as well. A Lily, a Sally, a G4, a Nell, D3A. 1 of everything here today. Obviously, we did destroy that PBY5 Catalina on the ground. I wish we could have destroyed off like 5 or more. That'd been great there. He loses B18 Bolo and a Dornier 24K1 to anti-air, which is interesting. That's likely in the Dutch East Indies. I mean, it's a Dutch aircraft, I believe, isn't it? So I don't imagine he'd have them elsewhere. Okay. I'm just waiting on a HQ. I was going to have a march over to Yunnan today, but I'm going to wait on this NCPC headquarters over here to get to that position. Having the HQ support's a good thing to have. And I'd like to have that. Okay. I will go ahead and take a look at Urumqi then, shall we? Oops. Let's see. Industry. So. Oh wow, look at that. So I believe we've captured Urumqi completely intact then, if I'm reading that correctly. I always forget which one it is, but I think we have it intact. Whoops, just dropped a bit of blue tech that I was fiddling with. Let's compare that. I'm pretty sure we have that intact. Yep, we have it intact. Awesome. Excellent news there. So that's good. That goes straight into profit for us there. So we gain 40 resource centers, we gain 50 oil, we gain 20 refineries, 20 light industry. That's really nice there. That's really good. I'll take a look at the naval construction shortly, actually. I do need to show that, and the R&D and aircraft construction too. So I'll show that shortly. Okay. I don't think there's a unit over here. I can't remember if there's a unit over there. Obviously, I have to double check before I do send the turn off, but we can have these guys head back south then. It's going to take some time, but, you know, they've done a good job. Yeah, there really wasn't anything he could have sent against those tanks, really, that would have just done anything. Just 1 manpower damage. Oh, yeah, the manpower. I didn't even notice the manpower there. How you doing there, Dr. Communist? Good to have you, my man. It's been a while, hasn't it? Been a while. Aye. So we'll take a look at the naval construction first, and we'll take a look at the R&D and etc. So, how are we doing here then? So 17,199. Getting there, which is good. Obviously, there is much more that we will need to do. I don't think we're going to get a automatic victory at all. Don't expect it. But yeah, we need to do everything we can. Obviously, defeating him over here at Sitting would net us some nice AV there. Sorry, AV? VP. 300 here would be great to have. Oh well. See you in a few months there, Dr. Communist. Have a good one, my man. If we take a look over here, then. Yeah, gaining 1600 there, denying him 802. And then obviously all the VP of destroying these units here is going to be great. Oh shit, here we go, guys. This is what I've been fucking waiting for a while. Excellent. This is where it begins now. This is where the end of Changsha comes. So I've been talking about this for some while. These guys are going to get butchered tomorrow. This is clear terrain out here. So we can butcher them tomorrow. And then what I can do is the day after, I can have that division broken up into detachments. And I can have one move out here to Changsha. That will open up the road then, over here, on this side of Changsha. And from there, we can march a good number of divisions. And then we can cross over here. He's either going to have to withdraw from Changsha, or he's just going to have to accept that it's going to be surrounded and ultimately falls. But yeah, there's no real good thing for him here. 5 units over here then, okay. We do have these units over here that are beginning to march to Changsha. It's going to take them a good couple of days to get here due to the actual secondary roads. But I think what I'll probably do is, once I do have that road open, is I could take even I could take the 3rd Division and maybe the 26th Division. Or leave 2 divisions. It depends. It depends. I could probably leave the 26th Division there to hold and probably take the other divisions. I just want to have enough oomph to get across the river and essentially stay across there, but I don't think there's any issues really. Armoured cars there. Good. Holds that for us. Yeah, so once I take this hex here, then that means that we have all this, and that works well for us. Yeah, we can see that we forced them to retreat over this way. Obviously, that's a unit that we have to deal with as well. I would prefer it to surrender, but that's okay. And I do have the 51st Division here. Now, I could have that. I could march it up this way to Hengyang. And, I mean, we do have to deal with the garrison requirements on Hengyang. Yeah. Do I want to march it up to Hengyang? It is the option I'm likely going to go for. I'm just thinking, is it worthwhile to go this way? Not really, because I do have the troops over this way anyway. Is it worthwhile marching this way? Maybe, but it's going to take longer for it to get out here, and really, does it make that much of a difference? Yes and no. But I can march it up over here to Hengyang, and that is going to be the thing that really does help us to break through in that area. So we're going to have that march north. It's also on major roads. It's going to take only a small amount of time to get there. And that gives us a division ready to cross over here to Hengyang. I could potentially try and time that so they all cross at once, or they cross there, they cross there. I don't think a division would be able to take on just a single, well, be able to take on a call by itself. So maybe we have time, but it gives us options, puts pressure on him as well, but it can't really do much about. So we'll have them planned for Hengyang. That's good news then. So yeah, next turn we are going to have that vital chink in his armor exposed. And really, there's not much he can do. Really not much. Unless he just withdrew, but even if he withdrew, it's not as easy as you'd imagine anymore. He'd have to go up these roads, which he could do. He could do that, but it's not doing a huge amount for him. That would mean he would lose even more cities, with even more industry, with even more supply generation. His situation then gets even worse. And yeah, eventually, I don't imagine it's too far from. I don't know. I wonder what point he's going to run out of supply. I mean, the amount of cities that he has here in China is, well, it is being reduced steadily. He's obviously lost oil. I mean, we directly own the oil, or the refinery capabilities in the north. I mean, there's the industry over here, which would be great for him as well, but that should be cut off. There's one unit there. Interesting. Obviously Burma fell, and now we're obviously pushing out this way too. So once we get over here into Paoshan, take Paoshan, and then begin marching out this way, that's going to be good. And he's got probably beyond Chongqing and Chengdu, Kunming's probably producing the most amount of supply for him. I mean, that's pretty good as well at Guiyang. But this is it. Obviously every city we take is absolutely well worthwhile. Okay, so moving ships out this way to actually place supply on these islands out here so we can begin to build them up, which I'm looking forward to. I've laid some mines out here. I should have laid some mines here at Palembang. Yeah, we have mines here at Palembang now, which is good. I sent a mine layer out there some while ago and forgotten about it, but yeah, it's there now. Okay, so we are building up the Palembang airfield. That's good. I need to pull out a lot of fuel from Palembang. We do have tankers moving out this way to do that. As you can see, we do have tankers over here. So that should pull out a decent amount of capacity. Obviously, these smaller guys, we can have used to just really ferry it to, like, Singapore, really. Or just in general, just have it ferried to Singapore, and then at least it can move through the system. It's not just wasting in one port, then. Well, in one base, then. Same over here at Marie. Got to get that out there, which we are, so that's good news. Okay, so we're making progress, and that's what we'd like to see. Take a look at the aircraft now. And the naval. I was going to look at that, and then I forgot, didn't I? So, we'll take a look at what we're producing here currently. So, obviously, I'll scroll down slowly. There we are. And for the R&D. Should have actually had the A6 in advance today. Oh, not that far away from that. Yeah, so we've advanced that today. 11% now. A little bit of progress towards the Sam. There we are. The Jude is going well. That's going pretty well. Emily's getting there. Tojo making progress. That one's making good progress. And we finally have the Nick expansion completed. So once that does arrive, we'll be able to make great use of that. That'll be very nice for us to have. Helen's been advanced. That's obviously taken a while, but obviously they're going to arrive. And we're not in a great rush to get them. Don't need to really rush to get them, so they'll arrive soon enough anyway. Key 83, I'd like to see another 6 if that was possible. Not seen another 6 yet. Shame. Hey, didn't they just? Key 84 there. There we are. I'll take a look at the armaments. Is something I'll probably have to restart. But it takes a long time to go through those armament points, actually. Okay. I'll take a look at the Naval Construction event as asked. So, we do have a new DD arriving in 3 days. Let's go with just naval. Yeah. Yunyo. Oh, Junyo, not too far away. Yamato, 64 days now. Looking forward to W21 to replace ones we've lost. Is it this DD? There's one I'm accelerating I'm looking forward to. Ah, there we go. The Izuki. Looking forward to when she arrives. No, we don't have it yet, they're just some while before we have it. Let's take a look then. We'll start with signal intelligence. Pearl, San Fran, Brisbane, Pago, or Pago, however you want to say it. Bandoang. Bandoang is actually interesting, and Sydney. So, yeah, things going on are the usual culprits there. Okay, fuel's not far from arriving there at Nortok 2. Yeah, but the good news is the fact that we have those BBs rearmed there. That's really good for us. We can go in there and likely get another bombardment off. I mean, we've bombarded them a couple of days now. A few days in a row, so that's been quite good. Not especially impactful bombardments, but it's still worthwhile having. Causes damage. Obviously hits supply. Damages aircraft as well, which is always a good thing. Obviously damage on those PBYs is quite nice. Quite a few there. A little bit of damage on the airfield. I would have preferred to have had the actual damage on the, like the port damage combined with the airfield damage and just had it on airfield damage. That would have been nice. Just knocking that airfield out would have been great. But we found that difficult. Which is surprising actually, because weight's not very large physically. Oh well. Ah, that's annoying. I just wanted the AV, but they load everything but the AV. Sounds about right. That's bloody about right, isn't it? For damn sure. Right, they're loaded up, so we can have them moved out. Yeah, they're moving out there. I'll let them load up. Ideally, they get AV on each of them, because that'd be great. Yeah. If it's, I mean, it should be one. There should be one AV on each ship there, which would be. I'd really like that. It should work out like that, so we should be able to get all these dot bases on pretty quick. I'd be quite happy about that. Okay. Some while get there, just. These guys are going to be about 10 days or so, I think from this point March, maybe 11 to 10 days before they arrive here. I'll probably attack when they arrive at that point there, and then we'll wait for reinforcements and we can attack again then. Excuse me. I did really have the size 2 airfield by then. Then I'm just going to just start running the Sallies then. I may have to just start running them extended, but I prefer not to run them extended. It's kind of annoying like that. Alright, they're moving there. Another battalion moving north. It just takes a while to get moving. It's the only issue. Take a look at the ops. Yeah, we still have some minefield I was talking about. So he knows they could advertise around there, but not exactly where. Right, attacking fresher. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So you can see the A6 made there. Advances R&D. Good. Every couple of turns we'll see that advance. 78 Sentai arrives at Mukden. Yeah, losing Kagero is not fun. Let's see. Right, so there's one at the pool there. Hopefully we can get that in there shortly. Just need to get a few more, actually. Do you plan to do a strategy video anytime soon? No, unfortunately not. Not for some while, unfortunately. The issues really, I just don't have the time. I mean, after I finish this video, well, after I finish this stream, I'll be going straight ahead and continue with Japanese studies. I mean, I do have some time off soon enough, but we're going to get there first. That's not that long. I think I've only got about 2 weeks left, but I've got quite a lot to do in those 2 weeks, so hopefully we'll be able to get that done soon enough. What do your palette replacement pools look like? Take a look at that, and then I guess we'll call the stream to an end. Yeah, so we'll see that. I want to see that increase. Aircraft replacement, pilot replacement. Right, so we have 968 fighter pilots, 380 bombers there, 1,333 IGA, 16 IGN in here. Training command, obviously we do have a good number of 80 pluses in here that is growing, which is good news. Essentially, once they reach that 80 point, then they are graduated here. See, Mackie is doing pretty damn good there. No kills, but really experienced. But a lot of them don't have kills, but some do. Some do. So that's looking good. Okay. A few days and we'll have some additional aviation units. I'm looking forward to having those. Let's see. I am sending Haruna. I was going to have her repaired, but in fairness, I could have that damage repaired elsewhere, to be honest. And I could have that repaired down at Truck. So I do have the AR there. We do have the ARD, which is making its way slowly to Rubal. Hopefully she makes it there. Okay, yeah, I can see plenty of fuels arrived over here now. They just stay in pool. I think once we take Wake, then they will arrive. No, they don't cancel, just stay in pool as far as I'm aware. Or they just don't arrive. until we take it, sort of thing. Okay. Now I'm getting a bunch of supply loaded up to actually... they should have been loaded. Why are they not loaded? That's odd. Unless the ones I've ordered loaded... Oh, it looks like... Oh, we have 1,200 then, actually. Okay, interesting. They're heading back. Yeah, I just need to get that supply loaded up on those PBs so we can drop that off. Oh, so they spawn in the home area. I didn't realise about that. Okay, that's cool to know. Right, so... Over here, then, we do have... these AKs. AKs, sorry. I'm likely going to have... Well, actually, no, I don't think I need to worry too much, because if I can load up at least a detachment, then that works well enough. I will have additional AKs here as well, which is going to give us that additional capacity, which is brilliant news. But yeah, having that fuel there at Naval would be great. Also, we do have a fuel out here at Quadrillane 2. 10,000 tons there. Well, 10,000 units of fuel is good. That's really nice to have. We do also have these oils over here, which I'd like to probably move elsewhere, to be honest. I have shifted 2 of the AVs over here into Roynama, so we actually do have, in theory, the air support required. So the aviation support required. Keep these guys going. Yeah, it's a lot of subs, and it is a pain in the ass. And the thing to bear in mind is, at least we can actually see them. That's the big thing there. He doesn't have as much of an ability to see our subs as we have to see his own. It'd be brilliant if we had like a little island here, but I think what I might do is potentially have an AV, maybe have an AV pushed up over this way. But in fairness, it's one of those of, even from Tongi, they are still doing a good job. These guys are a naval search rather than ASW just to extend their range. But we have a mix, actually. We have a mix of ASW and search and then rest here too. But it means that they can operate out 8 hexes, so they can at least spot some of these guys. Obviously, ASW mission would see them attacking, but it's only 4 hexes of range then. I can push that out to 5, but this is it's still not quite close enough to cover. So I might have an AV possibly employed just to bridge that gap. We've not been doing too bad so far. Obviously, the BP taking 2 tops is it sucks, but it's not that bad, I guess. And at least we're not having to suffer with mines. That's at least something. This turn, at least. But we'll see. As far as it goes, I mean, if we lose something, we lose something. If we lose a BB, we lose a BB. I don't think we will, but we have to accept that could be a possibility. He could look to bring in CVs, but we'll see. Okay. Bhutan. I don't know. What do you mean by that? There we are. So I have those troops there. Take that base and march on this way then. I'm just trying to wrap things up quickly now. We're not too far, which is good. Take these here. And, I mean, hopefully we have Surabaya tomorrow. I think we'll probably get Surabaya. It depends, really. Oh, right, I see what you mean. Oh, right, yeah, Bhutan, yeah. Yeah, that's been moving there for some days, so that's fine. I mean, once we have Surabaya, I can move troops over here to take these bases and finish the conquest of Mindanao. We are working on finishing off the conquest of the Philippines. Aye. So let's take a look then, actually. So we do have additional oil capability now, well, additional oil production. So we're at 290 now, which is good. All of that is heading to where we need it, which is excellent. I think in China, well, I think in East Asia, it is actually pulling over here at Port Arthur, I believe. What do we have here? So it's 277,559 units of oil here, which is good. Is that 889? I can't quite read with the font being small, but I think that's just shy of 1 million tons there. East away. It's suggesting just an APD, but it's very much likely going to be the BB force that we saw beforehand. Other than that, we're not seeing anything this turn, disappointingly, but hey, what can we do? There we go, I guess we'll call it here. So thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are enjoying the series, do go ahead and follow me here on Twitch, and that would be much appreciated. And to those of you who are watching this on YouTube, it's great to see you. I do have a bunch of videos uploaded onto YouTube. I just need to actually put the titles in, put the thumbnails and stuff, and I can release them there. I know I have a greater audience on YouTube, but it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me being lazy, but it's just been really quite convenient to be able to just do things on Twitch. So then it just uploads straight away, and there's no faffing, which is nice. So until next time, thank you and goodbye to Oyasu and sayonara, mataraishu, goodbye for now. Have a great one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Arigatou gozaimasu. Goodbye for now.